We can't see the edge of the universe, but is there actually an edge to see in the first place? It all depends on whether the universe is infinite or not. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. But have you ever wondered if it's endless or if there's a limit to its size? So buckle up, space cadets, and get ready to explore the mind-boggling possibilities that await us on this journey to the edge of the cosmos. If you've been pondering this cosmic query, you're not alone. It's a question that has kept astronomers up at night for centuries. Right now, you probably can't see the entire surface of it unless it's really small. We can't see beyond the observable horizon, but that doesn't necessarily mean the universe ends there. It could just be that we're too small. The universe could go on forever. That would make it infinite. Maybe you're lying down next to it. In that case, good view. Like, how can infinite be a thing? I mean, infinity is a concept that humans came up with. It's not a thing itself. The idea of infinity represents something without end or limit. It's the never-ending story. The short answer is we don't know. The slightly longer answer is that scientists have some evidence that the universe might be infinite, but they're not 100% sure. One piece of evidence is that the universe appears to be flat. Well, the size of the universe doesn't really affect our daily lives. Remember, even though we can't see the entire thing, it's still pretty awesome. Now it's time to ask a favor. Please subscribe to support the channel. Also check out these other videos. They're pretty great. This theory basically says that the universe isn't the only thing that's infinitely big. Well, here's where things get a little complicated. You see, just because something is infinitely big doesn't mean it's actually infinite. And even if it is infinite, nothing lasts forever. But hey, at least we'll have all those other inflating universes to explore. Take the natural numbers, for example, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of our amazing videos. These numbers are infinite. They never end. But the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, and so on, are actually not infinite. Even though the even numbers never end, they are a subset of the natural numbers. This means that the even numbers are actually finite compared to the natural numbers. Everything is infinitely big. Space and time are always expanding, which creates new universes with their own physical laws and constants. This means that our universe is just one of many, possibly infinite, many. And each of these new universes is created from quantum fluctuations in the pre-existing ones. And these fluctuations happen randomly, which means that in some universes, the laws of physics might be slightly different. Some might have more or less matter, some might have different forces. It's a wild ride. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Whether it's infinite or finite, we're still stuck here on this little blue planet trying to figure out how to fold our fitted sheets. Okay, just kidding. I didn't actually lie. I just omitted a few crucial details. See, while the universe may appear infinite, there's a good chance it's actually finite. In other words, the universe could be like a giant donut. But it's important to understand the universe as best we can. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll discover that the universe is actually infinite. And when that happens, we'll be glad that we took the time to explore this fascinating question. It's like a little bubble in a giant ocean of inflating space-time. This means that even if our universe never ends, it will eventually reach a point where it can't expand anymore. And at that point, everything will start to collapse in on itself. Of course, this is just one possibility. There are many other theories about the heat death of the universe, but they all have one thing in common. Our universe won't last forever. This means that parallel lines never intersect and angles of triangles always add up to 180 degrees. If the universe is flat, then it extends infinitely in all directions. However, the universe may not be perfectly flat. It could be curved in on itself, like the surface of a sphere. If that's the case, then the universe is finite but unbounded. Think of it like the surface of the Earth. It's finite, meaning you can't travel forever without eventually coming back to where you started. But it's also unbounded, meaning there's no edge to fall off of. If the universe is curved in on itself, it could be possible to travel in one direction forever and end up back where you started. When we say the universe is infinite, we're actually making a statement about how it seems to stretch on forever. This is the radiation that was left over from the Big Bang. It's incredibly uniform in all directions. If the universe is infinite, this makes sense because there wouldn't be any preferred direction. But if the universe is finite, then there should be some variations in the cosmic microwave background due to the fact that light would have had to travel through a finite amount of space. Again, scientists have found some evidence for this, but it's not enough to say for sure. Well, that's a great question. It's a little complicated, but it has to do with the nature of time and the laws of physics. Basically, time is relative. It's not absolute. It's not like there's a giant cosmic clock somewhere that's ticking away the seconds. Instead, time is intertwined with space in a four-dimensional continuum called spacetime. The passage of time is affected by gravity and motion. The stronger the gravitational field, the slower time passes. And objects that move faster through space experience time more slowly than objects that are still. So traveling through time is possible in a sense, but it's not easy. You'd need to find a way to manipulate gravity and motion in extreme ways to experience significant time dilation. Not impossible, but definitely complicated. But even if you got up and walked around it, you still couldn't see the whole thing. This line has no beginning and no end. It's a one-dimensional representation of infinity. In this four-dimensional space, every point has a counterpart, and every point in the space has a counterpart on the plane. In essence, it's the universe extending infinitely in all three spatial dimensions plus time. Now imagine a flat plane that extends infinitely in two dimensions. Every point on the line above has a counterpart on this plane. And every point on the plane has a counterpart on the line. This plane is a representation of two-dimensional infinity. Finally, visualize a three-dimensional space that stretches infinitely in all directions. Every point on the plane has a counterpart in the space, and every point in the space has a counterpart on the plane. This three-dimensional space is a representation of three-dimensional infinity. There'd always be some part of it that was blocked by your body or the wall or the ceiling fan. But that doesn't mean the table has a finite size. It could go on forever. It's just that your perspective is limited. The universe is vast and complex, filled with countless galaxies, stars and planets. In our quest to understand the infinite expanse that surrounds us, we'll dive into the fascinating theories that attempt to answer this age-old query. This is the portion of the universe that we can actually see, and it's limited by the fact that light has a finite speed. At 299,792,458 meters per second, no, I'm just kidding. You don't need to write that down. Just call it 300,000 kilometers per second. It takes time for light to travel, and it turns out the universe is just really, really big. So we can only observe a small part of it. The radius of the observable universe is about 46.5 billion light-years. This means that if you were to take a giant sphere with a radius of 46.5 billion light-years, that would contain everything we can currently see. And anything beyond that sphere is, for all we currently know, unobservable. So first off, let's talk about the observable universe. Now, just because we can't observe something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Take your kitchen table, for example. And that's kind of like how we view the universe. But what does infinite even mean? Let's use a simpler example to illustrate this. Imagine a line that goes on forever in both directions. To represent four-dimensional infinity, we need to add another dimension beyond the three spatial dimensions. Here's where things get weird. Time comes into play. But wait, I hear you asking, if the universe is infinite, why can't we travel through time? Okay, so back to the original question, is the universe infinite? Another piece of evidence that the universe is infinite comes from the cosmic microwave background. So what does all this mean for us mere mortals? I hope you enjoyed learning about the size of the universe. Hey, remember that time I said the universe could be infinite? Vel elite. You see, in 1987, Alan Guth and a few other scientists proposed a theory known as eternal inflation. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can this be finite if everything's infinite? So in the same way, our universe is a subset of the eternally inflating multiverse. And since the multiverse is truly infinite, our universe is finite. So remember, even though the universe may seem infinite, it's probably not. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and share it with your friends.